Hello everyone, welcome to Arab International Academy. I'm your lecturer Hanin Al-Asadi, and this is a lecture about multimedia storytelling. We will have an overview about storytelling in general, and then we will continue to explore more about the digital storytelling. So we will begin with an introduction to storytelling. It's a dynamic and fundamental form of communication, involving the convenience of a narrative through words, visuals, or multimedia. The objective is to deeply engage and emotionally connect with an audience, enabling shared understanding and appreciation of a story in general. So storytelling is inherent to human communication and understanding. Throughout history, people have utilized stories to share knowledge, beliefs, experiences, and emotions. It's a core element of how we relate to the world and to each other. It embraces diverse mediums ranging from traditional oral and written forms to modern multimedia platforms. So each medium offers its unique potential to captivate and resonate with the audience, shaping the way stories are told and received. At its core, storytelling serves as a means to make sense of the world, share perspectives, preserve culture, heritage, and entertain. It bridges gaps, educates, instills values, and leaves a lasting imprint on both the teller and the audience. Storytelling is a timeless art that continues to evolve and adapt to the changing landscape of human interaction and communication. It is based in history and modern times. So wherever you want to explore a culture, you will explore it through storytelling, through the novels and the shared like poems, stories, and it would take many genres and forms, not just the novels itself. So what's the difference between storytelling and digital storytelling? Digital storytelling is in the modern times and in the mean times. It is the same exactly as storytelling, but the means that reaches the audience are different. But it has the same basic fundamentals of storytelling in general. So digital storytelling represents a modern evolution of the age-old practice. Leverage digital platforms to enhance the storytelling experience. It involves the use of interactive and multimedia elements, making the narrative more engaging, immersive for the audience. Digital platforms introduce interactivity, enabling the audience to actively engage with the narrative. So unlike the traditional storytelling, where the experience is static, digital storytelling encourages participation, allowing the audience to influence the story's development. One of the key features of digital storytelling is the integration of multimedia elements such as images, videos, audio, animations, and interactive graphics. These elements enrich the narrative, appealing to various senses and enhancing the overall impact and understanding of the story. So again, digital storytelling utilizes computer-based or online tools to create and share stories. This is what we meant with the digital platforms and modern age. This transformation in tools empowers storytellers to experiment with different formats, designs, and mediums, fostering creativity and innovative in narrative techniques. So instead of only having words, books, plays, theaters, now you have different platforms to encourage or that gives you a space for more creativity, for more innovation because of these techniques. Digital storytelling leverages the reach and accessibility of the internet and digital platforms. It allows for wider dissemination of stories to a global audience. breaking geographical barriers and reaching diverse cultures and demographics. So now you can reach any country, any culture in the world and deliver your story through digital storytelling because of the internet and because of the modern techniques and modern platforms that we have nowadays. So we can say also that digital storytelling gives the audience some level of control over the narrative, allowing them to choose paths or outcomes of the story. This practice of elements creates a sense of ownership and deeper emotional connection with the story in general. So the audience will feel more interactive with the author or with the one who's delivering the story to him. So digital storytelling also is a dynamic shift from traditional storytelling. It engages audience in interactive and multimedia-rich narratives. By embracing interactivity and multimedia, digital platforms breathe a new life into the art of storytelling, enriching the experience and enabling the storytellers to connect with a global audience in innovative and compelling ways. So we covered the difference between digital storytelling and the regular storytelling that we usually the old authors used. But now in modern days, we have more access to a wider audience, which is a great benefit. We will continue by talking about the 5 pillars of storytelling. These pillars are used in digital storytelling and in storytelling, the old-fashioned one. So basically, the basics, as we have discussed, are exactly the same. What is added to it in the digital storytelling is the use of multimedia, is the use of internet platforms. That's an add to the storytelling, not changing it or not totally different from the storytelling. The 5 pillars that we will explore are the plot, characters, conflict, setting, and theme. These are important in any story narrative. The plot is the foundation of the story, representing the sequence of events that the narrative makes the narrative go forward. It's the roadmap that guides the reader or audience through the story's development, from the introduction of characters and conflict to the resolution. So a well-crafted plot keeps the audience engaged and invested in the unfolding story. Characters are the heart of any story, driving its action and engaging the audience emotionally. They can be protagonists or antagonists or supporting figures, each with their own traits, motives, and arcs. Strong characters development allows the audience to connect with the story and add depth and realism to the narrative itself. The conflict is a fundamental element that sets the story in motion. It's the central problem, the challenge, or the tension that characters must grapple with and ultimately resolve. Conflict can be internal within a character or external with other characters, society, nature. It adds suspense, drama, and complexity to the plot, keeping the audience invested in the outcome. The setting encompasses the time and place in which the story unfolds. It provides the backdrop against which the plot and characters interact. Usually, a vividly described setting immerses the audience, creating a sense of atmosphere and context. So whether a real-world location or fantastical realm, which is like we are saying fiction and non-fiction, the setting influences the story's mood and helps the audience visualize the narrative. Lastly, the theme. Theme is the central idea, message, or insight conveyed by the story. It often reflects border concept, moral lessons, or philosophical viewpoints. Themes can range from love, sacrifice, and any hardship that humans usually go through in life, redemption to social societal issues or human nature. Exploring themes allow the audience to reflect on the story's deeper meaning and apply them to their own lives. So understanding and effectively utilizing these 5 key pillars of storytelling is crucial for creating a compelling narrative that resonates with the audience, evokes emotion, and conveys meaningful messages. And each pillar contributes to the richness and coherence of the story, making it a captivating and impactful experience. The same pillar exactly are used in the digital storytelling. Now, these elements that we will discuss in this slide would be more related to the digital one than the regular storytelling, because as you see, we have voices, soundtracks, pacing. So these are usually used in the digital storytelling. So these elements are added to the 5 pillars of the storytelling. The 7 elements that we will discuss are point of view, dramatic question, emotional content. These are also in the storytelling, the regular one, voice, soundtrack, economy, and pacing. Starting with the point of view. The point of view refers to the perspective from which the story is narrated. It can be first person, second person, or third person limited, or third person omniscient. So the choice of point of view affects how the audience experiences and interprets the story, influencing their connection with the characters and events. Giving an example to explain this more. For example, if you say that the story is told from the first person perspective, the sentences would be, I walked into a mysterious room. So the narrator is using the pronoun I to tell the story. An example of third person limited, she cautiously entered the mysterious room. So now the narrator is talking about a character in the story using the pronoun she, providing this insight into the character's thought and feelings, as if the narrator and the author knows everything the character is thinking of, doing, and as if he has an insight to her thoughts and feelings, as we have mentioned. A dramatic question. A dramatic question introduces a central mystery or uncertainty that engages the audience and keeps them invested in the story. It creates anticipation and curiosity, compelling the audience to seek answers, driving the narrative forward. For example, who killed Mr. Smith? It's a mystery digital story, for example. Here, the aim of the question is not to have a direct answer to it. The aim of this question is to intrigue the audience and let them be more involved in the story and start to think and be excited to know who the killer is. That's what we meant with a dramatic question. Emotional content is an essential element designed to evoke emotions and connect with the audience on a deeper level. It can range from joy and excitement to sadness or fear, enhancing the audience's emotional investment in the story and its characters. For example, if you said a soldier's reunion with family, it evokes joy, relief, and tears feeling. This could be used in a touching digital story. So you are using a scene that evokes emotions of the audience. This would be an emotional content. Now, regarding the voice, in a digital storytelling refers to the unique narrative style, tone, and manner of expression. It captures the personality of the narrator and influences how the story is perceived. So the choice of voice can significantly impact the storytelling experience. Because as we said in digital storytelling, someone would be narrating the story. So his voice would affect the audience and how they will perceive the story. For example, if you consider a humorous digital story might have a witty and lighter narrator, creating a humorous voice. You won't be using like a strong, deep voice to tell a humorous storytelling. You would use a light, witty narrator. While if you are doing a documentary, if you are doing something more serious or something that evokes emotion on a deeper level, on a sad level, you would use a deeper voice. The fifth element that we will discuss is the soundtrack. So the soundtrack includes music, sound effects, and auditory elements integrated into the digital storytelling. So when sometimes you are watching a video about any theme or any story you have watched before, you will, most of the time, you will hear background music and background noise or voices that has a purpose to it. And these audio elements enhances the story's emotional impact, create ambience, and immerse the audience in the narrative, adding a layer of sensory engagement. For example, a weird noise music and a creaking sounds in a haunted house scene in a horror movie would evoke suspense, fear, and it would make the digital story suspenseful, exciting. That's how much the soundtrack would affect the mood and the ambience of the story that an audience receives. Economy is digital storytelling. In digital storytelling is about using elements efficiently and concisely to convey the narrative effectively. It involves avoiding unnecessary complexity or superfluous details, ensuring that each element serves a specific purpose in advancing the story. For example, in a concise digital story about a detective solving a case, for example, each piece of evidence and dialogue contributes to the mystery's resolution without unnecessary detours. So, economy, here the word is used to express that the narrator and the author in a digital storytelling will only use what is necessary and avoid unnecessary complexity. This is because the digital storytelling would have a shorter time usually than the time that the audience would receive a digital storytelling would be way less than he's receiving it in a book, because in a book you will have multiple pages for any unnecessary or added information, added expressions and words, and the audience will have control on how to read it and the time he will spend on reading it. But in digital storytelling, it would be different because, for example, if you're having a very short, video, it would be like 50 minutes that you have to convey your message in it and reach your audience and convince them and evoke them emotionally. So you would have to avoid any unnecessary complexity or details. Now, the last element, pacing. So pacing involves controlling the rhythm and timing of the story to maintain an engaging and smooth flow. It determines when to speed up for the heightened tension or slow down for emphasis or reflection. Effective pacing enhances the audience's experience and comprehension of the narrative. For example, fast-paced sequences during a thriller chase with action-packed digital story. So, the pacing of the digital story would affect the type of it. As we said before, if it's humorous, light, it would be a humorous storytelling. If it evokes tension, there is like heated emotion in it. It would evoke like in a horror digital storytelling. Now, if it's packed with thrilling chases, this would evoke an action digital story. So the pacing is like the rhythm. The story is told in it. So these 7 crucial elements in digital storytelling add complexity and depth to the narrative, enhancing engagement, emotional connection, and overall impact. They provide a framework for crafting immersive and compelling digital stories that resonate with the audience and convey the intended message effectively. Now, how the narrative is structured effectively. Effective narrative structuring is the strategic organization of a story to captivate and maintain the audience engagement, ensuring their sustained interest and immersion in the narrative. So first, the clear story arc is the trajectory of a narrative comprising a beginning, middle, and end. Crafting a clear story arc ensures that the story progresses logically and cohesively, guiding the audience through a journey from introduction to resolution. This is a very clear, simple way of narrating a story. For example, in a mystery story, the beginning might introduce the crime, the middle would unravel clues and suspects, and the end would reveal the culprit and provide closure. The culprit means the killer. Now, engage the audience. What does this mean? An audience engagement is the cornerstone of effective storytelling. To maintain interest, and a storyteller must create compelling characters, intriguing conflicts, and relatable themes that resonate with the audience. For example, in a suspenseful thriller, gradually revealing the mystery while keeping the audience guessing will engage their attention and keep them invested in the outcome. But if you reveal the killer from the beginning, the audience will lose interest and will not continue watching or following the narration. A smooth flow is essential for a seamless and coherent narrative. So transitions between scenes, events, or perspectives should be well managed to prevent confusion and maintain the story's momentum. Transiting smoothly from an intense action scene to a reflective character moment ensures that the narrative continues to progress smoothly. An effective narrative structuring incorporates these steps, allowing storytellers to create a compelling and coherent storyline that captures the audience's imagination and keeps them engrossed from the story's inception to its satisfying conclusion. Now, designing effective narrative. We talked about the structure. What about the design? So design in a multimedia storytelling refers to the deliberate creation and incorporation of visuals, multimedia elements, and aesthetic to enhance and support the storytelling experience, making it more engaging, emotionally evocative, and informative. So effective designs elements such as visually appealing graphics, interactive elements, and well-structured layouts capture and sustain the audience attention. Engaging designs that have curiosity and encourage the audience to invest more deeply in the narrative. For example, using vibrant colors and dynamic animations in it in an interactive infographic to illustrate a complex concept can captivate the audience and encourage them to explore further. So the use of vibrant dynamic animation will evoke the audience to explore more. Also, thoughtfully crafted design can evoke emotions and create a more profound impact on the audience. The choice of color schemes, imagery, typography can influence the emotional tone of the narrative, enhancing the audience connection to the story. For example, using warm, comforting colors and gentle imagery in a multimedia story about family can evoke feelings of warmth and nostalgia. So the choice of color would affect the emotional state that the audience will relate to. Also, design plays a vital role in clarifying complex ideas or information. So visual aids will well-designed charts and infographics can simplify concept, making them easier to comprehend and enhancing the audience's understanding of the narrative. So using sometimes visual aids like charts, like infographics would help the audience to understand the aim of the storytelling. Because as we said, storytelling could be about horror, action, romance. It would be about a documentary, a biography. Any form of story, any form of narrative can be transformed into digital and multimedia one. So using sometimes like charts, if you are talking about a documentary or facts, would help the audience to fully understand and perceive the actual aim of the narrative the author is providing. So effective design in multimedia storytelling is an art that seamlessly integrate visuals, multimedia elements, and aesthetic to reinforce the narrative's core message. By doing so, it not only enhances the audience engagement, but also ensures a deeper emotional connection and a clearer comprehension of the story being told. Now, in digital storytelling, we have three stages, which is the pre-production, and we have the filmmaking techniques in the middle and the post-production. We will discuss this thoroughly because these are steps that are done in digital and in multimedia storytelling. So what is pre-production? Pre means before or in the beginning of anything that will happen later. When we say pre-production, it's a phase in multimedia storytelling which is very crucial that lays the foundation for a successful project. It involves through research, careful script writing, and detailed storyboarding to ensure a well-planned and effective storytelling structure. So research is the initial step in the pre-production phase, involving gathering the information, data, and background knowledge that is relevant to the story being told. This includes understanding the subject matter, characters, setting, and themes. For example, in a documentary on climate change, research may involve studying scientific reports, interviewing experts, and collecting data on environmental impacts. Now, the next step would be the script writing. Script writing is a pivotal aspect where a compelling narrative script or storytelling is crafted. It guides the entire multimedia project, providing the storyline, dialogue, and structure necessary for the visual and auditory elements. So without the script writing, we cannot follow a clear path in the visual and auditory elements. For instance, in a fictional short film, Script writing involves creating engaging dialogues and defining the sequence of events to convey the story effectively. So you need a clear sequence of events which is provided by the script writing, a clear dialogue. So the scenes would be so the scenes arrangement would be functional in preserving the momentum of the story and keeping the audience interested. Giving an example on this, if you are doing an animated film, storyboarding involves, now this is about storyboarding. If we are talking in a fictional short film, script writing involves creating engaging dialogues and defining the sequence of events to convey the story effectively. We have mentioned it before. So storyboarding, we have reached storyboarding now, is a visual planning technique used to map out each scene, shot, and transition in the project. And usually storyboards used to be drawn by hand, but now because also of the modern techniques and digital techniques we have, storyboards now is done digitally. So everything nowadays is done digitally. It ensures a coherent and effective storyline structured by providing a blueprint for the visual aspect of the narrative. In an animated film, storyboarding involves sketching each frame, specifying the characters, the position, expressions, and background settings for a specific scene. So every scene would have a storyboard to it to make it more clear, and then it would be arranged into a multimedia storytelling. So this is the pre-production, what is happening in the beginning of any digital multimedia storytelling. Again, it's a foundational phase, setting the stage for the entire multimedia storytelling project. Through comprehensive research, thoughtful script writing, and meticulous storyboarding, creators establish a clear direction, ensuring that the project aligns with its intended message and engages the audience effectively. Now, what about the filmmaking techniques? Filmmaking techniques in multimedia storytelling involve the deliberate use of camera angles, lighting, and composition to convey various perspectives, emotions, and storytelling elements. All of this done effectively. These techniques aim to engage the audience, evoke emotion, and enhance the overall narrative experience. So camera angles are important in conveying different perspectives and emotions within a scene. By strategically choosing angles, filmmakers can manipulate how the audience perceive the characters' events and reaction and environment in the narrative. For example, a low-angle shot looking up at a character can convey a sense of power or dominance, while a high-angle shot looking down can express weakness, vulnerability, and shows that one character is dominant on the other. Lighting also is a powerful tool to set the mood and atmosphere of a scene. Different lighting techniques such as natural lighting, dramatic lighting, or soft lighting can evoke specific emotions and emphasizes key elements in the narrative. For instance, harsh, stark lighting can create a tense and dramatic atmosphere suitable for a thriller, while soft, diffuse light can evoke a romantic or comforting mood in an emotional scene. Composition involves arranging visual elements within the frame to enhance storytelling and direct the audience's attention. So a well-composed shot can guide the audience's focus and effectively convey the intended message. For example, placing the main character in the center of the frame can highlight their importance and the central role in the narrative, drawing the audience's attention to them. So the position of the actors or of the characters in the frame would shed light on their if they have an important role or a secondary role in the narrative or in the specific scene that the audience is watching. So these film techniques are fundamental for conveying emotions, creating tension, and immersing the audience in the story. When used thoughtfully and strategically, camera angles, lighting, and composition significantly contributes to the overall impact and effectiveness of the multimedia storytelling. Now we will move to the final stage, which is the post-production. Post-production is the critical stage in multimedia storytelling where raw footage is transformed into a refined and immersive narrative through the meticulous editing. Incorporating of special effects and addition of sound and music, this stage brings together various elements to enhance the visual and auditory aspect of the narrative. So, the first one is editing, which is a very important step. Editing is a crucial element of post-production where the raw footage is refined, organized, and assembled to create a cohesive narrative. It involves arranging scenes, trimming unnecessary segments, adding transitions, and adjusting pacing to ensure the story flows seamlessly. For example, in a fast-paced action sequence, editing may involve quick cuts and dynamic transition to maintain the intensity and excitement mood and let the audience be excited because it's an action, it's a thriller storytelling. Special effects are used in post-production to enhance storytelling and visual appeal. These effects can range from computer-generated imagery to practical effects aiming to add realism, fantasy, or spectacle to the narrative. For example, in a science fiction film, computer-generated imagery can be used to create futuristic landscapes, which is not available in real life to have a footage of it. It had to be created by a computer. So this is aiming to add realism to the futuristic mood of the storytelling because it's a science fiction film. So also they can add spaceships or otherworldly creature, enhancing the film's narrative and immersing the audience in the fantastical world. But using these techniques would add realism to the storytelling that the audience would actually feel that he's in the future time. Finally, the sound and music play a crucial role in post-production by adding audio elements that complement and enhance the narrative. So sound effects and background sound create a mood and atmosphere, while music underscores emotions and amplifies the overall impact. Giving an example, in a suspenseful scene, the addition of tense music and subtle sound effects like footsteps can heighten the audience's anticipation and create a thrilling atmosphere. So you would have a different experience watching a horror movie without any soundtrack, without any background noise. On the other hand, you are watching it with intense music, with scary sound. You would have a totally different experience. So that shows the importance of sound and music in multimedia digital storytelling. Tips for multimedia storytelling. So these are added tips to everything we have discussed before, and this would enhance your multimedia storytelling. So effective multimedia storytelling is in education involves tailoring content to meet the needs and preferences of learners, eliminating irrelevant information and continuously improving the learning experience based on feedback and data analysis. So understanding the learners is crucial for effective multimedia storytelling. This involves gaining insights into their goals, motivations, challenges, preferences, and prior knowledge. By understanding the unique characters, educators can design content that resonate with them. For example, if the learners are visual learners and have a keen interest in technology, incorporating visually appealing infographics and interactive digital elements in the educational material can enhance the engagement. So this is, for example, when using a multimedia storytelling in education. It's not only used to entertain, storytelling can have diverse purposes. Now, tailoring the content. Tailoring content is about customizing the multimedia story to align with learners' needs and expectations. This may involve adapting the language, pacing, and complexity to suit the learner's comprehension levels and learning styles. So, for example, for a group of learners who are interested in history, customizing the content to focus on historical events and figures that align with the curriculum can boost their interest and understanding. In multimedia storytelling for education, eliminating irrelevant information is key to maintaining focus and enhancing the learner experience, including only the most important and useful content, ensure that the learners grasp the essential concept effectively. So, for example, in a biology lesson about the human respiratory system, focusing on the key organs and their function while excluding unrelated details streamlines the learning process. Continuous improvement. So seeking continuous improvement is vital in multimedia storytelling for education. Gathering feedback from learners and analyzing data on their engagement and comprehension allows educators to refine and optimize the multimedia content over time for maximum impact. For example, analyzing data for quizzes or surveys integrated into the multimedia platform can reveal areas where learners may be struggling or excelling, enabling educators to modify the content accordingly. So by incorporating these strategies, educators can create compelling multimedia storytelling experiences in education that resonate with learners, enhance engagement, and facilitate effective learning and comprehension. Understanding and adapting the audience's needs and continuously refining the content ensures that the multimedia storytelling approach remains effective and impactful. So these tips that are know your audience, tailor content, eliminate irrelevance, and continuous improvement, these 4 tips, I have given an example when using multimedia in storytelling in education. We have discussed how you would tailor content, eliminate irrelevance, as we have mentioned before, with examples. And these are applicable on any type of multimedia storytelling. It would be applicable for an action, a romantic, a dramatic type of storytelling. So these 4 tips would help enhance your multimedia storytelling. Now, programs and apps. As we have discussed, digital storytelling use modern techniques. So what are the most used programs and apps that allow you to have a successful digital storytelling? So, multimedia storytelling tools are software applications that offer a variety of features and help creators effectively create, edit, and design digital narratives encompassing various media formats. So some of the apps are Adobe Premiere Pro, which is very popular and well-known application. Final Cut Pro, and Canva. Adobe Premiere Pro is a professional-grade video editing software widely used for multimedia storytelling. It provides a comprehensive range of features, including video editing, audio editing, color grading, special effects, and more. This tool allows creators to craft and refine video narratives with precision. Final Cut Pro is another powerful video editing tool often utilized in the film and video industry. It offers advanced video editing capabilities, sophisticated effects, and seamless integration with other Apple devices. Final Cut Pro is favored for its intuitive interface and ability to handle complex multimedia storytelling projects. The final one is Canva, is a versatile graphic design platform that is user-friendly and offers a wide range of design tools. It's an excellent choice for creating multimedia content such as graphics, presentation, posters, and more. So Canva provides a pre-designed templates and a simple drag and drop interface, making it accessible for both beginners and experienced designers. So these multimedia storytelling tools are instrumental in bringing creativity and efficiency to the storytelling process. They empower creators to produce engaging and visually appealing digital narratives by leveraging their respective features for video editing, graphic design, and multimedia content creation. The capabilities of these tools significantly contribute to the effectiveness and impact of multimedia storytelling projects. Why digital storytelling? This is the question why we have moved from storytelling in books or on theaters, plays to a digital one. So digital storytelling offers a dynamic platform that enhances engagement through interactivity, incorporates diverse multimedia elements, enables a broader reach, and promotes direct engagement with the audience, creating a more immersive and interactive storytelling experience. Digital storytelling enables a level of interactivity that traditional forms of storytelling cannot match at all. Interactive websites and applications allow users to actively participate in the narrative by making choices that influence the storyline or exploring different aspects of the story. For example, interactive storytelling platforms where users can select paths for characters affecting the story's outcome based on their decisions. Multimedia elements. It's when digital platforms incorporate multimedia elements in a rich array of multimedia elements enhancing the narrative experience. These elements can include videos, animations, graphics, and even immersive 360-degree videos, transporting the audience to different locations and adding depth to the story. For example, integrating videos and animations in a digital article to provide visual context and a more engaging reading experience. Digital storytelling has the advantage of reaching a vast and global audience almost instantly. Stories can be shared and distributed through various online channels, allowing content to go viral and reach millions of people worldwide within a short span of time. So, like social media campaigns that gain rapid popularity and are shared by people across the globe, amplifying the story's reach. Now, one of the significant strengths of digital storytelling is its ability to directly engage with the audience. Viewers can comment, share, discuss, like, unlike the content, creating a sense of community and fostering a deeper connection between the storyteller and the audience. For example, on a YouTube channel, they engage with their They engage with their audience through comments, live sessions, and Q&A session questions, building a loyal and interactive community, which sometimes are considered like a fan base for YouTubers, for artists. So digital storytelling combines these advantages to create a dynamic and immersive narrative experience, enabling storytellers to engage with a broader audience in a meaningful and interactive way. That's why nowadays digital storytelling is favored than the old-fashioned one. And even books are available digitally. So that shows the power of multimedia storytelling and why it should be studied and considered by new creators, new authors, new writers, because this is what interests the audience nowadays. Let's see who benefits from multimedia storytelling. So, multimedia storytelling is a versatile tool, as we have mentioned, that offers a wide array of benefits to different individuals and sectors. For educators, for example, it's very popular nowadays, especially after the pandemic, online education is very popular nowadays. So multimedia storytelling in education helps educators enhance classroom engagement and comprehension by presenting a complex concept in a visually appealing and interactive manner. It caters to diverse learning styles, making learning more enjoyable and effective. In marketers utilizes multimedia storytelling to craft compelling brand narratives that resonate with customers. Multimedia elements like video, graphics, and interactive content help in creating an emotional connection with the audience, driving brand engagement and loyalty. Maybe one of the most beneficial of multimedia storytelling are the one who works in the marketing industry. Multimedia storytelling allows journalists to present news and stories in immersive format, enhancing the impact of their reporting. So through videos, infographics, and interactive articles, they can provide a more comprehensive and engaging understanding of current events. Advocates leverage multimedia storytelling to raise awareness about social, environmental, or humanitarian cause. Compelling narratives through various media formats help in mobilizing support, rallying for change, and drawing attention to critical issues. In the businesses use multimedia storytelling to effectively communicate complex ideas, data, strategies to their stakeholders. Engaging visuals and interactive presentation enable clearer understanding and alignment among teams and partners and clients. The most recent and popular one are content creators. They use multimedia storytelling to reach diverse audience with engaging and captivating narratives. They utilize various media formats to convey their creativity, messages, and stories, catering to the preferences of a broad spectrum of viewers, and eventually benefit from it, like financially. Lastly, the Nonprofits leverage multimedia storytelling to convey impactful stories that resonate with potential donors and supporters, like for charities, for example. Compelling visuals and narratives help in conveying their mission, showcasing the impact of their work and inspiring financial and volunteer support. This is shown when, unfortunately, like a natural disaster happened or a war, they will show you images, real live images from the destruction and the condition these people are living in, and this will evoke more donors and more people wanting to help, because now they see it as if they are in the same situation as these people. So multimedia storytelling is beneficial to many people. It's a powerful tool that can be adapted and utilized by different sectors to effectively convey a message and evoke emotion. Now, whether the use of this multimedia storytelling is in a positive or negative way, this depends on the creator and on the audience engagement and preferences. As we said, like this media storytelling could have advantage and disadvantage as any type of artwork. It depends on the audience and the creators. We're almost reaching the end of the lecture. We're gonna have examples of storytelling. These examples, I will talk shortly, briefly about them. You are free to check them, and they are interesting and diverse example of multimedia storytelling. So let's take a look at these few examples. Snowfall, the avalanche at Tunnel Creek. This is journalism. It's an innovative and immersive multimedia storytelling piece by the New York Times. It recounts the harrowing story of avalanche that struck Tunnel Creek in Washington. It combines text, photos, videos, maps, and animation to enhance the storytelling. It allows readers to experience the event from different perspectives and recreate the atmosphere and event leading to the avalanche. So check it, it would be interesting. Bear 71 is an interactive documentary that explores the coexistence of wildlife and human in the Canadian Rockies. It utilizes a mix of surveillance footage and interactive elements. It combines real world life, as we have said, footage with an interactive narrative, allows the audience to navigate the story and experience the bear's perspective, engaging the audience with a unique and immersive storytelling approach. This is for people who love to explore nature. This is an interesting documentary. The Royal Navy, get the message, this is a marketing multimedia storytelling, is a marketing campaign by the Royal Navy aimed at recruitment. It incorporates an interactive experience that allows users to engage with various elements of naval life. So it provides an authentic glimpse into the life of the Royal Navy to attract potential recruits. This utilizes interactive storytelling to engage the target audience effectively. The final example is Holo. It's a documentary, also journalism, is an interactive documentary that delves into the lives of residents in the McDowell County, West Virginia. It employs various multimedia elements to portray the community's story and challenges. It integrates videos, photos, data visualization, and maps to tell a comprehensive narrative. It allows users to explore the community's history, present, and future through an interactive interface. It utilizes multimedia storytelling to create an engaging and informative documentary. So these examples showcase the power of multimedia storytelling across the diverse fields, whether in journalism, marketing, or entertainment. Leveraging multimedia elements and interactivity enhances the storytelling experience, making it more engaging, informative, and impactful for the audience. Now we have reached the end of the lecture. We have discussed the 5 pillars of storytelling, the elements of storytelling. We have given tips, tools, apps, and programs, and finally, examples about digital and multimedia storytelling. Now, I advise you to check these examples, at least one of them, to have a more clear idea what is a multimedia storytelling. So thank you for your attention. And I hope this was like an introduction of multimedia storytelling that would help you to delve more into details later. See you in the next lecture.